Hello, everyone. This is Arthur, and I'm very happy to share my progress of thought this semester and my key takeaways from Michael Stevens' Hyperlinked library course. This first slide has two timelines. The one on the top shows this semester, fall 2024, where the blue items above the line show Hyperlinked library class assignments, and the green items below the line show some activities of mine outside of school that influenced my thinking. And the timeline on the bottom shows my larger MLIS trajectory. Just briefly, as part of this course, I have been developing the idea of a practice room robot on the one hand and a digital storytelling initiative using the radio program Desert Island Discs on the other hand. In parallel to my classwork, I also participated in the LA Libros Fest, went to a book talk about new opera, watched a screening of ethnographic documentaries, attended the Music Library Association California chapter conference, and immersed myself in new music with the LA Phil from noon to midnight one Saturday in November. Right now, I'm smack in the middle of my MLIS trajectory. I started in January 2023 with an initial focus on classical music performers. This year, 2024, I have taken courses on academic librarianship, music librarianship, and survey research methods, in addition to the Hyperlinked library. My plans for next year are to develop a survey study proposal, to continue thinking about the practice room robot, and to initiate a Desert Island Discs interview collection project, and possibly to pursue an internship with UCLA's Ethnomusicology Archive. Now, I'll quickly go through the list of activities in green and then share some of my takeaways from the Hyperlinked library course. Here's the LA Libros Fest, where I held a story time in the morning and ran a camera obscura workshop in the afternoon. This was an important event for me because it allowed me to turn the Los Angeles Public Library into a classroom using innovative teaching and learning practices. This was social learning by coming together, having fun, being playful, and collaboratively creating. In October, I went to a book talk by the visionary opera director Yuval Sharon. His book is called A New Philosophy of Opera, and his approach is full of experimentation, site specificity, and viewer participation. His 2015 opera, Hopscotch, for example, was performed in limousines driving around Los Angeles, with different scenes unfolding along different routes, both inside the cars and at specific destinations. To me, Sharon's philosophy represents the great potential that new art has to problematize the canon and the art form. It blurs the distinction between art and life, and it invites the audience members to co-create by choosing their own adventures. It's brand new, avant-garde, and therefore represents the cutting edge of the kinds of information needs a professional classical musician might have. Yuval is such a cool guy, he even signed my cast in addition to signing my copy of his book. I'm a big admirer of his work, and it always leaves me with a special impression. At the end of October, I went to a screening of 3 documentaries by the media artist and scholar John Caldwell. It dawned on me that his films, at the intersection of art and ethnography, tell and preserve incredibly powerful stories. For example, one film called Rancho California documents the exploitation and resistance of migrant labor communities in and around Carlsbad, California. It gives voice to the voiceless and visibility to the invisible. And the UCLA Film and Television Archive Vimeo page, which is linked at the bottom of this slide, makes the work and others freely available for streaming. Speaking of ethnography and UCLA, the university's Ethnomusicology Archive is full of audiovisual recordings that document the musics of the world. I was able to take a tour of it and the music library at a recent conference of the Music Library Association. UCLA was the first ethnomusicology program in the US, and the department is large and influential. The archive has field recordings, which are unique, and also a large commercial recording collection. It is a department with a rich history, and longtime archivist Maureen Russell is a superb keeper of the archive's treasures. Then, in November, I immersed myself in new music at the Walt Disney Concert Hall from noon to midnight. This is history being made, I thought. So many world premieres. This is what my era sounds like. And in this case, it has to do with field recordings. Again, I was at the intersection of audiovisual art, ethnography, and experimentation. So that's the progress of my thinking via the activities I've been doing, and it parallels the progress of my thinking for the Hyperlinked library course. Here are my 5 takeaways. Number 1, be hyperlinked and human. The Hyperlinked library course is, of course, hyperlinked. For me, it was a series of blog posts that linked to YouTube videos that I made. I also think my idea of the practice room robot leverages technology in a way that fits with the hyperlinked model. Additionally, archives that provide online access to content fit the model because they enable people to access their materials anytime and anywhere. Finally, libraries and concert halls can be made into classrooms that support in-person human connection. My second takeaway is that stories have great power. Research, oral history, music, and ethnography all have the ability to tell really powerful stories. In particular, I'm looking forward to adding a narrative inquiry component to my survey study to gather more information about how musicians use technology to practice. For my Desert Island Discs project, I'm looking forward to identifying a group of people from my life whose Desert Island Discs and oral histories I want to hear. Then I plan to arrange and conduct the interviews. My third takeaway is the famous line from Rush's Tom Sawyer. He knows that changes aren't permanent, but change is. Well, I love this song, but unfortunately, I don't think it would make it to my desert island. In any case, change is a fact of life, and I think the practice room robot could be a game changer. I don't really know, but I'm interested in how things are changing. I'm interested in the expanded operatic mise en scène and the post-operatic multimedia artwork. My fourth takeaway is to always keep in mind ways of incorporating and encouraging participatory service and social learning. For example, I hope the narrative inquiry part of my research study will allow participants to help me design my questionnaire instrument. And I hope that my digital storytelling idea with Desert Island Discs can become a social way to promote music discovery. Imagine a university music department with a large collection of Desert Island Disc interviews. Students could learn about the favorite music of their peers, instructors, and alumni of the program. And I think the practice room robot should continuously refine itself based on user feedback to improve the way it helps people based on their real practice room needs. My fifth and final takeaway is to always remain wholehearted and to practice wholehearted librarianship. The idea of being a wholehearted librarian has really resonated with me. The world can be a very dark place, and in moments of crisis, it matters how we treat each other. And I see dark times on the horizon, I'm afraid. So it's important to me to remember this wholehearted mindset, or, if you want, this whole-minded heart set. Thanks very much. I wish everyone the best.